Blast off. There he is. Nice. There he is. And here I is. You know what it is. So we're going to close it out. Miami going to close it out today or tomorrow, whenever they play. It was 3-0. Now it's 3-1.
Lost, right?
They lost, yeah, night before last or something. I don't know when they play again. All right, folks. Let's try to understand something that's super duper important. Do not get involved in continually thinking like segments. Oh, what do I do if, because it's constant with this, what happens if I go to the ground? I'm so afraid to go to the ground because I don't know enough on the ground and blah, 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 blah. The thing with that is if you want to get as good as those guys that do nothing but spend all the time on the ground, I'm very smart. I know a lot. How long have you been in the business you're in?
3+ decades.
3+ decades. So for me to try to compete against you, let's say I had the same idea and I'm going to set up shop right across the street from you.
You would have to pay the stupid tax.
The tax?
The stupid tax.
What is that?
It's the ignorance. It's the learning the lessons, learning the what not to do.
I like that. The stupid tax. You know what I'm saying? Learning to get to a certain point. So like they say, if you want to play with the big dogs, you got to get off the porch, right? You can't just sit on the porch and play with the big dogs. You got to get out there. You can't lay there like a puppy. So the problem is always going to be you're going to play catch up. Because there's been such a craze with Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu or just any kind of ground fighting since '93 when the Gracies came over here and whooped ass on everybody, just started spanking people like baby seals, right? You're going to have to play that game. That's all there's to it, right? So wouldn't it be easier knowing that they're really good on the ground, I'm going to try to catch up, right? Unless we start on the ground, which could happen. I'm not saying that you're not laying there holding hands with, you know, whoever it is that you're going to end up fighting with on the ground. But usually, no matter how many end up on the ground, most fights start standing up. So I can guarantee you that the number of fights that start standing up versus end up on the ground, the ones that start standing is a higher number. I don't care where they got those numbers. At one point, they were claiming 90-something%. I worked in bars for over 2 decades. I never broke one fight up on the ground. Not one. Didn't break up a single fight on the ground. Never ended up on the ground. So I don't know where these numbers came from, but if you would have asked me over that 10-year span, what percent of fights go to the ground, my statistic would be 0. So you go and ask an LAPD cop how many fights that you've been in to end up on the ground. Well, don't they, like 90% of the time, want you on the ground to handcuff you? And even verbally, without having to put their hands on you, say, get on the ground, face down, turn that way, hands behind your back. Well, even by me telling you so, yeah, if you're going to take the statistics from the LAPD, how many fights end up on the ground? Well, that's all of them, because that's the position, the prone position they want you to handcuff you. So the statistics are tainted. Now, where are these fights happening? What's, like I said, it's trendy. TikTok is trendy, Instagram. It's trendy to go do this jits. Sounds cool, it's really cool. The Gracies, you get a cool uniform. If you live in a good part of town, you feel good, you're spending $300 a month and you're chilling, going in your Beamer to take these classes, to roll around and get sweaty. But where are they starting from? The ground. So how are we getting there? Then no, we practice throws too. Okay, well then my next question is, how are you getting from here to you can't throw me from here. As a matter of fact, you can't throw me from here. You got to be at least this close to throw me. Right? What's happening in your life that you're letting people get this close to you and turn their butt? Because to throw you, they got to do this, and they got to put their butt around your like midsection. And you're now again, it depends. Depends what clubs you go to that people are backing that ass up, right? Could be. But that's what I'm saying. And people are still doing the same thing. They're compartmentalizing the stand-up, the ground, the fighting, the jiu-jitsu, the tournament, You got to understand there's 2 things. It's either sport or street, right? That's the only 2. You're either doing it to defend yourself or some kind of sport. Tournament, UFC, it's still a sport. It's called a combat sport. So even if you're doing it and getting elbows to your face for money, it's still a sport. It's a combat sport. So those are the only 2 places you can go with this stuff. Street or sport. And then now we're back to the same thing. Unless everybody started what they call ass scooting. You remember the old times where they'd be on the ground and they'd just stay there doing this and tell the guy to do this, and you'd see him even, that's why they used to call them ass scooters, because they would sit on the ground and it would do this. They would literally, you see them. And you still see them now in Abu Dhabi. They do this. So people that hate the jiu-jitsu, which you shouldn't, there's nothing wrong with it, call them ass scooters. You think if you're on the ground like that, I'm not going to try to kick you. And then you can grab my leg.
Fucking leg, take me down.
Right? I mean, okay, that's what you want to play? Grab my keys and whip him right at his face. And when he does that, then when his hands come down, I'm going to kick his arm and maybe break it. But you can't. And now try that on concrete, scooting your ass on concrete. It's not really smooth, right? And then you got to lean back and hope and pray his buddies aren't around. There's a lot of shit that's happening, right? So, digressing. Work on your stand-up, because that levels the playing field a little bit. Your chances of getting better than him on the ground are nil. Your chances of getting better than him standing up are a lot better. I mean, a lot better. Because most of the time they're just doing the stuff on the ground. And the ones that are doing the MMA and the other stuff that's standing up, it's still sport, right? So while you're practicing jab, cross, hook, right? I'm practicing poke to the eye, bare paw to the lip, bare paw to the throat, forearm to the face, forearm to the throat, shot to the sternum, grabbing your fingers and snapping them off. Because if my hand can reach your face, man, my hand can reach your hand and just rip a finger back, right? And I still see it. People are like, oh man, let's roll a little bit. That's still just you and I amicably agreeing to get on the ground and then roll around and see who's better. At what? What are you seeing? So then now it's like, well, when it comes to grappling, I keep it sporty, and then I go do jujitsu, Jeet Kune Do 3 days a week, and I'm thinking about poking eyes out or kicking guys in the nuts or blowing out a knee. So how are you going to put those two together? You take his eye out, you end up on the ground, and then you do sport? Just people have this whole thing all messed up. So again, like I said, when people say use both sides, practice with your left and practice with your right, get better standing up before you start worrying about this down here. But then it's like everybody with the negativity. Well, what if I end up on the ground? Well, it doesn't matter, because you just think about it. He's got 15 years of jiu-jitsu. Even as you get to that 1 year mark, what happens when you end up on the ground? You're still not going to be as good as him. So all you're going to do is get your ass kicked a little bit less. Not even a lot, because it's still 1 year to 15. So by the time you get to 5 years, well, he's at about 19 or 20 or 21. So you're still going to get your ass kicked just a little bit less than at the 1 year mark. Even when you get to 5, you're still not going to get your ass kicked as bad for sure, because you've gotten better, but not good enough to still get your ass whooped. Why not get really good at the stand-up stuff and get really good at the dirty stand-up stuff, so that if you do end up on the ground, the guy's got to try to armbar you with a busted lip where he can literally feel the wind blowing from under his nose into his mouth, because you busted his top lip up here wide open and it's a gap that high. And he's freaking out because he can feel that his teeth sometimes come out from here instead of here, right? Would it make more sense?
100%.
But and there's the problem. There's still people in the craze. When I talk about universal concepts, it chafes my ass that I have so many people that, oh, he talks too much during class, or they're rolling their eyes, or they're sitting on the corner sleeping during my seminars because they don't want to hear it, and they want to get in there and roll. You can roll all you want. You're never going to catch up. You started too late. Why is it that you can't join Amway now and become rich? It doesn't happen. You can still do okay. Do you know of anybody who got into Amway less than 12, 15 years ago that's making really good money? No, I guarantee you don't. Do you know anybody in Herbalife killing it that got in the last 3, 4, 5 years? No, because it's 100% about timing. You want to get rich at one of these things, whether it's a scam, pyramid, whatever you want to call it, you're only going to make money if you get in at the right time, right? Oh, it's a pyramid scheme. Only the people at the top make money. Do you think, how much do you think, you may or may not, but how much money do you think you have to put into Bitcoin right now to really be like, oh man, 5, 6 years from now, make a bunch? Probably 3 or 4 million minimum, because it's what, at 12, 8, 9,000 a share or something, or a coin, where it started at around $1 something, 3 something. People got in at $9 a coin, and they made 17,000% on their. How long do you think if you got in now to get 17,000? It's not going to happen. So it's the same with Bitcoin, it's the same with Amway, and it's the same with fucking street fighting, guys. You're not gonna do it. You didn't get in on time. It's not gonna happen. You can think about the whole you want. So jiu-jitsu or fighting is gonna be the only different thing. So multi-level marketing, that's the way it works, right? Real life, that's the way it works. Investments, that's the way it works. Bitcoin, that's the way it works. But when it comes to fighting, the concept, no, guys, it's the same shit. If you don't get in at the right time, which is not any time within 10 years coming this way. So unless you're gonna go back in damn time, if you didn't get in this game, and get in it 3, 4, 5 days a week, 10, 15 years ago, you're not gonna do it, man. It's not gonna happen. You can think whatever the fuck you want. You can sit there and piss and moan and Pedro talks too much, and you're still gonna get your ass kicked when it comes down to it, because I understand the game. So I'm not gonna play their game. Their Amway.
They understand the game too.
Huh?
They understand the game too, because I met 2 BJJ guys, and I explained JKD and why they should come and take the JKD classes. And I said, because how is you coming in to take me down, bro? My thumbs are going so far into your eyes, trying to touch the back of your head. And just gave them that to think about, and they comprehended.
And if you don't, there's something wrong with you.
I didn't show them anything other than
Don't!
letting them know.
Don't!
Other than letting them know that, bro. As soon as you come in for that swoop, bro, I said, I'm going to react some kind of way.
And why do you think?
Not taking me down.
Why do you think a lot of these people in
They didn't
investments?
like hearing it, bro.
They don't. No, they don't like.
They didn't argue. Both guys, neither one of them.
But think about it, man. It is no different. Multi-level marketing is the same. If you would have gotten to Amway at the right time, you could have become a millionaire. If you would have gotten to Herbalife, Shackley, Vima, all of them. If you get in it, they're all about timing. Stocks is about timing. Fighting, it's about timing. When are you going to start? If you know, see, that's why the people that followed Bruce Lee's mentality, I'm not talking about JKD or anything. If you followed his mentality and just read all the shit that he wrote and paid attention, and I just read and be like, man, that sounds cool. I'm going to make a poster. I'm going to make a meme. I'm going to post about this every other week, something new about Bruce, and really understand it. He doesn't give a damn a guy that's practiced 10,000 things once. He's worried about the guy that's done that one thing 10,000 times. That's somebody to worry about. And if you get good enough at that one thing, and one thing could be a style. It doesn't have to be one technique. It can just be one thing, which is street fighting. Well, I don't need much, right? I'm not following any rules. That's what makes it the hardest. When you go into a tournament, if you were allowed to do whatever the hell you wanted, well, then of course it would be mayhem. And of course the other guy could do whatever too, but it would be a lot more interesting, right? But because it's not fair, because that jiu-jitsu guy is always going to be better than you, because he got in at the right time, he bought in at the right time, right? His investment is going to pay off at a higher interest. Yours isn't. Now, if you would have got into the street fighting thing at the right time, then yours is going to pay dividends. And then which one makes more sense? Are we going to start on the ground or standing up? All right, you're going to put that check in your column. How often do I practice stand-up? Well, you're going to have to put that in your column. How often do I practice the dirty stuff? Well, you're going to have to put that in your column. Oh, well, the jiu-jitsu guys roll around a lot. You guys don't do any of that. I said, well, that's why drills are so important. That's why I tell you about the marksman, who's going to shoot people without ever shooting a person and never miss. Shooting a guy who's holding a hostage, and he's never ever done that in practice, except when it comes time to it, he shoots the guy in the head, and then the hostage walks away. There's no marksman that have ever in practice killed somebody. Nobody signs up for that job. Help wanted. Sniper freaking victim. They're like, excuse me? Yeah, you just run around the yard a little bit and let, Mike pick you off. They're like, no. And then you're going to be his helper. And what do you mean? Well, he's going to grab you by the neck and you're both going to run out like chickens and see if Mike can pick you off without shooting you. Who's signing up for that, bro? Right? So they have to be able to do their job without doing their job in practice. And that's what we do. You get close enough, boom, to every time I can get within that far. And people always freaking out. I'm telling you, boom, I've done it enough. But all I got to do is lean, and I know, boom, that's going to go where it's going to go. So I stay far enough, and all I know is got to rock forward a little bit. And then when I rock forward, I got to understand where you're going to be, right? And I'm here. There ain't shit you're doing to me in this profile. That's why you see these guys, when they fight like this, they're so hard to hit. Because you got to come around. I'm not giving you anything from the front. And then as you're trying to come around, what do I got to do? Nothing. Here, 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 roll, bang, 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 and do what I got to do. Well, you're sitting there square, so I have to understand my distance, right? Same thing, timing. How soon am I going to get in on that multi-level marketing, whatever it is? So, man, just practice more of your stand-up. Become as violent as possible in your mind. so that when this goes down and you step out of that car, make sure you're in the right so you're not going to jail, and you go to town. And stop with the fucking what ifs. Well, what if you end up on the ground?
Don't step out of the car.
Yeah, there you go.
Don't step out of the car, bro.
Right? So if you have, well, let's say you're already out of the car, because he's right. If I'm in the freaking car, just lock the doors and just like bashes the window, whatever. Most people have these dash cams now, and if not, you just click your phone, boom, quick picture of him.
Out of the car and he starts shooting. Then what? Exactly. You know what I'm saying?
Just sit there, pip, take a picture of his license plate, and scoot, get out of there. Here's what the guy looks like, here's the picture of his license plate. But like I'm saying, deal with stuff that's going to be realistic. Is it realistic that you're ever going to start on the ground? No. You're not going to tap hands, you're not going to put in your earmuffs and go, right? So you've got to practice the stand-up stuff. Practice it. But why? It's like this ego thing. Oh, how good is my grappling? Well, I don't give a shit how good your grappling is. How good is your not getting thumbed in the eyes? How good is your getting blinded defense? Well, we don't practice that. Well, then that's really good, right? Yeah, there you go. Right? If you don't practice it, there's just no possible way that you're in the same boat. Why is it that he's going to whoop your ass on the ground? Because he's done 15 years of jiu-jitsu. Why is it that he's not going to whip your ass standing up? Because the mentality of people that can't do something, it's, oh, anybody could fight dirty. Well, no, that's like saying anybody could do jiu-jitsu or anybody could cook. Yeah, anybody could cook. Some people cook like shit. Anybody could do jiu-jitsu. I'm not saying at your level. But you want to then say, you can do jiu-jitsu and it takes 15 years to get great and I'm going to be great on the ground. But in your game, I can just pick up on it and just do it. All right, try it. Riding a bicycle seems easy enough. And then when you do learn, it's like, wow, this is pretty damn easy. As long as you're not something wrong with your balance, just pedal, man. Everybody I know that.
Try to do a Tour de France.
Yeah.
Pedaling uphill for 6 hours. Bro, these cyclists, man, that's intense shit.
So, and you get the same thing. And you get to a level where you just can't say, well, anybody could ride a bike. Because think about it. Riding a bike is much easier than jiu-jitsu. Jiu-jitsu is hard as shit. But I guarantee you, if you take a 15-year jiu-jitsu guy and put him in a Tour de France with a guy that's been doing it 6, 8 months training, and he starts to get on this bike, man, he's going to be winded within 20 minutes. He's going to be, oh, it's just riding a bike, bro. I thought anybody could ride a bike. That's what pisses me off. Because there's high levels, like you said, Tour de France biking versus going to the store because you got your license taken away because you're freaking drunk. There's two different bike riders right there, you know what I mean? You're forced to because whiskey took hold of your life. That's why you're riding a bicycle with a basket in the front so you go shopping at Walmart at 11 o'clock when everybody else is sleeping because you ain't got a job because you got a problem with the whiskey. So again, deal with it however you want. The stuff that you need to do is easy. The I'm boring you part, stick it up your ass. You're never going to reach me, man. You can try all day or you never. And you're going to try everything you can. And you're going to go and try all the different weird classes that they take. Your mindset's already wrong. Because the stuff that you're doing, it doesn't gel with what the real world is. If you want to play on the ground, then go play on the ground. If you want to know how to save your kids when you're walking down the street and you're going to roll around and get the cutest little new lock you have and your 7-year-old is getting drug away because you're on the ground dicking off, well, have a good time. Let me know how that works out for you. When your wife, when you get home, beats your ass, you've been doing martial arts 20 years and you let your kid get taken away because you thought, oh, I'm going to fight on the ground was a good idea. Oh, I want to see how good my ground is. Let's roll. You're going to be rolling something else, man. You better just go home and roll a joint because it gets ugly fast. What about when weapons come out? What when the weapons come out? Totally different game. And you think you're sitting there? If you're doing jiu-jitsu, and I'm not even saying Brazilian, any kind of jiu-jitsu, or you're doing sambo, you're doing catch, and you've gotten to a super duper good level, and you've done it 5,000 hours, but you've never done it with somebody pulling out a knife, or you went to one seminar and did it for 3 hours. Do you think you're even going to be looking for that? Your mindset, your habits, whether they're good or bad, are going to be what they have been for the last 12 years. You're going to be looking for that armbar. You're going to be looking for that omoplata. You're going to be looking for that mataleo. You're going to be looking for that jujigatami. You're going to be looking for that udagarami. You're going to be looking for the reverse udagarami. You're going to be looking for the gogoplata. But you're going to be looking for everything except that guy taking out his keys and sticking them under that last little rib there. And all of a sudden you feel like almost like a bicycle tube popped. And you can't breathe all of a sudden real good because you got a collapsed lung. And then now you panic. Because I don't care who the fuck you are. When you can't breathe, you panic.
Nothing else matters. 60
years of any boxing, jits, kempo. is trumped by you can't breathe. You turn into the regular pedestrian. You, me, the jiu-jitsu guy, the Brazilian guy, the Mexican guy, the Puerto Rican guy, any guy. You can't breathe, you freak the fuck out. Nothing matters but getting your breath. And then what's the worst part? You don't know what went in there. Because you're sitting there, and we're this close, and you can't see, you can't tell. You're immediately thinking knife. And if you think that's what it is, nobody thinks at that range you get stabbed. And that's when the blood starts pumping, and you bleed out. Because it's like, and it's just pouring out. Whatever little hole it is, it's just rushing out because your heart is beating so hard and fast. Because it's what? It's the fear of the unknown. You don't know what they just did to you. And this never happened, ever. Didn't happen in class. Didn't happen in Abu Dhabi. Didn't happen in your 57 tournaments that you got all gold medals in. None of that ever happened. But the guy that's on top of you or behind you or next to you, whatever that is doing the stabbing, he fully understands what's going on. He's not freaking out. He's smart enough to know if I don't stab this guy with this key, he's going to beat my ass. Because he's not in this delusional world that, oh, I'm going to beat this guy and today's the day I finally get to tap him out. And he taps you out again. Oh, today's the day that I finally get to win. And you lose again. And you go and train another 6 months and you come back and you're still getting tapped out. Do you understand? No. But you think you do. You're in the what we call the green belt blues, right? I can tell you, man, I've never seen more successful people that listen than need to have something shown to them. Because if I got to show you how to make money in stocks, it's going to be a problem. Nobody gets shown how to make, like shown. I can teach it to you, but that's all about you learning. Listen, this is what you do. You see this graph here? But you got to listen. If you're not listening, you're screwed. Listen, guys, listen. But they're not listening. They're hearing all this other shit and they want to go out in their own world and do whatever they want and, disrespect me and whoever else they want to disrespect. Whatever, man. They're losing it. And then they're constantly thinking, well, today's the day. And that today never comes. And then it's like, oh, it's because he's been doing it a year longer. Well, he's always going to have been doing it a year longer because every year that passes, he's got one more year, you got one more year. It's like when we were little kids, we used to say, oh, one day I'll be as old as you. I'm going to catch up to you. They don't get it. It's like, well, I didn't get here and get to stop. By the time you get to where I am now, I'll be over here, right? So don't get duped, man. Don't believe the hype. A lot of people don't want to listen, and I chat too much. But then they're always doing this.
It's all good shit though, man.
Reaching. Well, some people obviously don't think so because they're sleeping while they should be doing what they're supposed to be doing. Anyway, so this is what we're talking about. You're going to put that foot forward. I'm going to put this foot forward, right? And we're going to stay right here. In Puerto Rico, when the guys used to do their knife sparring, because you got to remember, 90% of countries did this. It's not just the Philippines, Indonesia, Malaysia. If you were poor, and back when there were no guns, what's the oldest tool? And that's what they always go. What is the oldest tool in the world?
Stick, rock,
No,
brain.
tool. They claim, I don't know, I'm just saying they claim, it's the knife. They took a stone and ground it. That was the original tool. The rocks, yeah, I guess you could use it to bang stuff, but that was, let's say, there's a word, formal. Let's say the first formal tool. Way before guns, way before arrows and anything else. They just sharpen things into sharp edges, knives, right? So machetes go back and they're very cheap. And even there's some decent machetes that are decent metals. Most of them are shit. I mean, till very recently, it's just recently that shit got out of control. You used to be able to go to other countries and live literally on $600-700 a month. Till recently, when I mean recently, 4 or 5 years ago. Where's that? Believe me, there's places on 500 American you can live. I'm not saying you're living in a Taj Mahal, but there's no place you can go anymore. You can go to DR and live on $1,000 a month. Bullshit. Oh, you can go to Colombia and live on $1,000 a month. Bullshit. Those days are gone. Those days probably 5 years ago. That maybe 6 or 7. Doesn't exist anymore. Everything got too expensive. So anyway, the machete was the simplest thing for the poor to use. So they would take these bejucos, they go from here to here. A bejuco is like a twine or a vine, is the best way I can explain it. It's a branch, but it doesn't snap, it's not long, it's windy. So it's almost like if you see what they used to use to like thatch together to make roofs and shit. They strap from here to here. So you can't move. Because they know, right? The Spaniards had big swords. So I would have to get on the inside. So there was no outside fighters. Like in boxing, a Tommy Hearns would stay on the outside. And then you'd have you guys like, Chavez, and they'd fight inside or they'd work their way in. Or even Tyson, because Tyson for heavyweight was a short guy. He was more suited. That's where you'd see him do a lot of the lunging hooks and stuff. He had to be here. right? So anyway, so they're gonna take, you don't have to tie each other because we're not meatheads, because we're not using real knives. These guys were. You used to see a lot of the old timers, like when I was a kid, and these guys were in their 80s. So you're talking about 50 years ago, I was 6. So 50 years ago, there were 80, right? 52, 53 years ago, there were 85, 89. So these guys had been around, like their grandfathers had actually had some action with this. And then it just little by little dwindled away. There was no need for it anymore. Unlike the Philippines who promulgated it, the Puerto Ricans just let it die and it went to shit. But they had their knife fighting system, right? Maybe you don't call it a system made, but it had nothing to do with anything that was because of the region or because they were Puerto Rican. It was simple. It was, they figured it out. How, I don't know. Anybody that tells you they do is full of shit because there's no scripture on it. They weren't there, right? But I'm pretty sure that maybe the first 2 or 3, 4 times they didn't even know. But after a while, they noticed that people that were getting cut here and here were taking 7, 8, 9, 10 steps and dropping. Again, blood is pumping, this, that, and the third. So they're noticing. They didn't know it was a femoral. I guarantee you, I don't know. I'm going to do the research. I want to find out when this got its name. There is a stamp time on when this started being called the femoral or the aorta or this or that or third. All of this had no name. The nose, the eyes, the sympathetic nerves, all that bullshit was giving a name at some point, right? So they didn't know this was this, but they knew if they cut here and here, people were dying. Here and here, people were dying. Cutting you straight across here, and the guts were flying out. Guys aren't coming back. If it was smaller, if the cut didn't kill you, the infection would. So you tie yourself and you just do this slowly, right? We're just going to take a knife, but it can be anything. It can be a machete, it can be a sword, it can be a Bowie. I don't care how big or small it is. Someone breaks in your house, it's the same thing. I'll use an example for when someone breaks in your house. This guy is in your house. You hear him, right? You happen to have your knife. You come running down the stairs. Most people just either start doing this, or maybe this, or maybe this, right? And you're coming down the stairs. He's over there. So we're going to say, back up a little bit, well, over here. Everybody can see this? You should see this. That's the line. That's the stairs. Take a couple of steps back, 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 back. So that's the bottom of the stairs. I'm almost to the bottom of the stairs. I see him. He's coming towards the stairs. I freak out. I land at the bottom of the stairs. That's what I got to do right there. So get back here. And that's the kind of shit you practice. I stumbled, fell. I hit the bottom of the stairs, and I go 1, 2. Here's the blade. 1, 2. 1, 2. What if it gets caught in his jeans? Well, then you come around, just this one. It gets, let's say it gets stuck right there, and I didn't get a cut. Turn here and cut. Boom. Does everyone know what the perineum is? Perineum? How about taint? You know what the taint is?
Yeah, right between.
Yeah, that's the perineum is the actual name. The taint, we'll call it. So you go whoop, whoop, whoop. Game over, done. That is one of the biggest healing points for anything intestinal. I know Simo is my Sifu's wife. Sigung is my Sifu. So I don't know, so it would be Sigung. And had a guy with bad stomach problems. Told the guy, pull your pants. I was sick and tired of hearing the shit. Took this big ass acupuncture needle. Says, lift up your, and just boop, with this long ass gold tip, and just went in there with this acupressure thing right through the perineum. Guy says his stomach problems got 50% better almost immediately. Acupuncture is some crazy shit, bro. But right through the perineum. You can kill someone by kicking them there. It's, dangerous spot. So, and you know where it is, right? You might not get that close. Right behind.
Yeah.
It's right, that little area between your butt and if you're a chick, it's the same thing between your butt and your front part. Again, I apologize for anyone that's getting disrespected, but it's a good spot. So you're gonna go 1, 2, 3. Or you can just go 1 straight up, right? But you're gonna cut. You know where the blade is, over here, right? And it doesn't matter what position you're in. If you're here, if you just smashed you over the head and you could take your knife out and you just go 1, 2, and you just practice that. Here's the blade back here, right? So you're gonna go toe to toe, because it's gonna happen over there a little bit so they can see better, right? And you just, right from here and be like, okay, how comfortable is this? You don't move your foot, you're not, okay, right? But just don't start doing this, don't do this, right? Rock, you're gonna go in and out, right? Just like the whole motion, right? I go here, pop, pop, he feels that cut, right? And you grab my wrist as I get out to here, right? You wanna control that. Boom, do you think he's thinking about anything else? And then you immediately, you want your hand back. So you're gonna go 1, 2, grab the wrist, headbutt, get your hand back and go right back in case you missed. You don't know how well you cut. You don't know how thick those jeans are. And so you're going to go, all you're going to go is foot to foot, and you just think about cleaning the tip of that blade like this, right? So you're going to go in, right? In, out. That side, and then back, right? You don't want to go here and then, because this is easy to see. You can see this and actually see that on the way, right there, boom, boom. This, I can't really see over there. So here, you're going to go in, out, in, out, in, out. And there's a sway going on, boom, boom. And then you're going to do this 3 times, and then as soon as this is your clue to grab that. So we're going to go bing, 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 bing. There's the headbutt. There's no way we're toe to toe and I can't headbutt you. Unless you're trying to do this, in which case you're a moron and you haven't been paying attention for the last a lot of years. So you're here, wherever you get to here, and you get that knife. Boom. You fell down the stairs and you end up here. You don't try to scramble up, get on your feet. He's trying to kick you in the head. Boom, you're there, bap, bap. Right? 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. You'll do that about 50 times. Go back and forth each. 1, you see how there's that motion? And then as soon as I get here, after a couple of times, grab the wrist. This is what I want to do, right? Because I want to pull out that way. So we're going to go 1, 2, grab, boom, okay? And then you go to town. You keep going. Got it? Let's see it a couple of times. Toe to toe. There you go. Good. Boom, boom. All the way in. There you go. Good. Touch both thighs. You make sure you're in. There you go. Inner thigh. Whatever. Boom. There you go. Boom. Good. And now make sure you bring it to your knee so that he can grab it. Boom. Now he grabs it. The other way. See, go ahead and put the hand here. You put the hand here, he can go through here. You put the hand here, he's blocked. He's got to go around to get to you, right? So here, I mean, it's not a big deal, but it's a difference. If I'm here, he's got direct access. If I'm here, he can't go that way. He's got to go out and around. Boom, okay? So go 1, 2, 3, 4, okay? And then again, same thing. If you now are in the position to where you see this guy's starting to bleed out and you have cameras in your house, the blood was pumping, you've been struggling for a couple of minutes and you start seeing him do this, I would go bing, bing, grab here, boom, there's the headbutt, and then start here, okay? Because at the end, you could do that if you want. My thing is, like I said, if you see, you can tell, bro, if I go like this and there's red from here to here, I know you're gonna die. Right? And then what they're going to see, because I have home cameras, is bip, bip, headbutt, and I stop. Because I'm hoping that you're just going to stop and that you're not going to die. You're going to die. I saw the amount of blood. But you look like a more conscientious person that you just didn't go, and keep. You may have the right. You got kids upstairs, your wife, the guy broke in, and then they do find when they do his toxicology report, this guy was high.
So what, just so I know, because I promise you, man, it's not been there, bro.
Go ahead.
I mean, he's in my house.
Yeah.
And I got kids.
Yeah.
My grandkids are home.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro. No,
He's getting like this.
No, dude. No.
Go upstairs.
No, I mean,
Honey.
it's good.
No,
He's
I
like
got you.
this and
I got you.
that.
Now, the reason I say what I say is because there's people that have a moral compass that's way higher than their safety compass or whatever it is. So I'm giving you the options. Well, this is the easy part to go 1, 2, and you don't even have to wait. You just here and then go right back, right up, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay? Yeah. See what I'm saying? And then once I have you, I go this way, I go this way, I go this way, I cut and I come back around this way, right? The easiest thing to do. I have the knife here. So I'm going to turn the knife this way, right? And then just here. But see what I'm trying to do? I want to, because I know my knife, I know it's a single edge. I want to take this and have it around here. So this, hold that, this is going to play the equivalent of this. But I need this to make the pressure because I can't lock in, right? So I need this pressuring here. So I go like this, boom, 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 do what I'm going to do, right? Then this has got to come just a flick here, okay? I'm going to go here and see what I'm doing? It's that scissoring motion. There's no way that that's going to be good for him. Okay? And he's not getting out of there because just like if I was doing this, this is right here, and it's against his throat. He's not going to want to go against it. He's got to move the opposite way, but there's nowhere to go because I'm going to go like this, right? So that's what I would do. But then again, it's up to you if you just want to keep slicing and dicing. That's on you. He's in your house. You got 3 kids. Let's say, like he said, let's say I'm wrong, and he's not woozy because he's bleeding out. Boom, he's woozy because I just smashed him in the face. Now he recovers after a couple of seconds. He's high as hell on LSD, and he comes back after me. Now I'm shitting my pants. What do I do? How do I do? Right? So he may be right, man. You just keep going. You know, where you know is going to be here. Boom, 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 boom. Like you take this thing and just, I mean, that's on you. I'm not telling you what to do, right? This is a wooden knife. I mean, I don't give legal advice or anything of the sort. Got it? Here, your turn. And then you're going to go back. Okay, hold on. Do it 5 or 6 times, or 10, whatever the number is. Slide over here a little bit. Slide over here. There you go. 1, 2. Again. 1, 2. Good. 1.
I like that one up there.
And then make sure you put that after a couple. See what you're doing? Do it again. There. So you try to make, if you see that that's how he's standing, right? Try to make this cut, right? As soon as you get to here, see where my arm goes? Mm-hmm. So use it as a gauge. Mm-hmm. I don't want you to go, this is going through. You feel how my arm is there? Right? So you got arm. So he's going to feel knife, arm, boom, knife, arm. See, you're going to feel my, and the reason I'm doing that is because I'm going to try as I cut, right? Even as I come back. See, I'm trying to, boom, get the femoral and possibly get those tendons. Because if you want to just go tendon and not strike the femoral, you can go deep enough to where if you cut both of these across, yeah, he's not walking real good. There you go. Now do it toe to toe. Remember, don't be all the way in here. Toe to toe. Come back here. Toe to toe. So you're gonna go put that leg over here. Make it easy for the video. Boom, boom. Most people won't stand square like that. Bad guys will usually be more confrontational. That would probably be about there. There you go. But you can put it wherever you want, right? So you're gonna go here and then go lay it there. So he can come and do this, and then you're gonna grab. You're gonna do this. Boom. Let's say you grab and your head is down that low. But there you go, right? I'm not really gonna get down here to go for a headbutt, right? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this. Give me the knife. Right? His head is really low. There you go. I can't really sneak in there. So when I hook here, I'm trying to get the butt of that knife and I'm gonna try to go bang. So I'm gonna go, bring your head back now. Back. There you go. All the way back. Good. Bang. Again. See how I'm going towards there? He can't hold that. And I'm cupping here. So I'm gonna go boom as hard as I can. Lightly. Boom. And remember guys, when you're doing this, if you have a death grip on there, go ahead. Death grip. And I go to break out, you're gonna hurt your thumb. Because you want me to do it just once so you feel it, that I'm gonna get out? Sure. Or you like your thumb?
I like my thumb.
Okay, then we're not. Boom, okay? Because if this thing, like over here, if your thumb is turned even a little bit that way, that's what's gonna happen, it's gonna get locked. If it's like this, you'll be all right, I'll slip out. But if it's even this way, right? Let's say you grab like that and I go up, you feel there's nowhere to go. We don't wanna play that game. So, and I mean, I know a lot of guys come in with like 16, 20 Band-Aids all the way up to here, wrists are hurting. Well, you know, we like to really, what is the word they, because in the street they're gonna really resist. So, you know, and especially after like 3 hours, I'm like, man, if you've been doing 3 months, I could see it. But after 3 hours, let him grab me as hard as he can. And I'm like, do you understand that if he grabs me as hard as he can, I've got to do this, let go for a second. I've got to do this as hard as I can, and I've got to do, don't hold tight, move back. And I've got to do this as hard as I can. You're not going to win that. Why? Because his hard as he can and my hard as I can, who's going to win that, right? And then when the mistake happens and you see the little white thing flying in the air, it's usually not spit, it's a damn tooth. They're running for about $3,500 to $6,000 a tooth, bro. They ain't cheap anymore. You ain't popping in a tooth for $1,800 no more. I don't know if you ever had to have a tooth put in, implant or whatever they're called. High dollars, bro. High dollars. They are not cheap. So bing, bing, grab the wrist and you simulate. Bah. You simulate. Bah. Now you stay up a little bit. Now, boom, there's when the headbutt comes in. Because I don't want to hear, what if he's down here? Well, if he's down there, that's when you do this. Or even better, if he's really strong here, just take this leg out a little bit here. And then even him holding on, you just take your entire body, just like we launch into the headbutt. You're going to spin here and take your whole body and just go wham. He's not winning that one. Hold me down as hard as you can. He's not winning that one. Hold. He's not winning that one. Look where his face is. So if I go like this, bang, and I take my whole body, he's going to eat that. Boom. Right? And as soon as that happens, I'm going to go here. I'm going to turn this around. Boom. Now he's got a problem. And then I'm going to cut those wrists. Right? Keep playing, guys. I came up this thing with the stair thing because I was just listening to the LL Cool J. You heard about that, right? When that guy broke into LL Cool J's house a couple of years back. Oh, he beat the shit out of this guy. They showed the guy, yeah. You know who LL Cool J is, right? Dude breaks into his house, he gets to the bottom of the stairs, and he sees the guy coming from the kitchen. And then, of course, he kind of, because he doesn't want to get sued, and he uses, I guess, a cool hip-hoppy word. I worked him, or I used some kind of word. We just used, I splendid him. And, yeah, lumped the dude up. You imagine you break into someone's house, and it's, I don't know, what's McGregor's first name? Conor McGregor's house. And you don't have time to say, I'm sorry, sir. Oh, shit, please don't. And he's on you. What do you do, man? You take a beating.
Unless you're Khabib.
Yeah. Unless you're Nurmagomedov, or however you say his name. Oh, yeah. Unless you're Khabib. And I'm not. Believe me, I'm not. Khabib's a bad boy. He is a bad boy. And the way he trains, man, there's nothing like it. Clean guy, you know, family. I believe he's Muslim, right? Yeah. Just a real good all-around guy. And, you know, for him to have done what he did, he felt real bad because, I mean, McGregor got under his skin. And when he jumped over that cage and the words that came out of his mouth, I'm sure he went on a little reprieve and prayed a lot and said a lot of I'm sorry's because he felt like shit because he let Conor get under his skin and he lost his calm. Yeah. Oh, yeah. And you could tell the way he was choking him. He didn't want to put him to sleep. That wasn't a choke. That was a neck crank. He had him like this, and he had him twisted. He wasn't. You can see the whole time it wasn't around his neck. He had him like this on the fence, man. That was 100% neck crank. And after he tapped, he stayed on a good 3 or 4 seconds.
Yeah, he was punishing his ass.
He spanked him like a baby seal. Back up a little bit. Come on. Who do we got on here today? I haven't said hello. I apologize, guys. Make sure you're working this stuff, guys. Make sure you're working it. Charles, how are you, my brother? Good to see you on here, bro. Hope everything's good. Mm-hmm. Good.
Same deal. Yeah.
One, two, 1, 2, 1, 2. Bring it to the knee. 1, 2. Bring it to the knee. Bring it to the knee. There you go. Boom, boom.
So this is more of a, here, grab my wrist. All right, so this is more of a,
Yeah.
not more of a,
Mhm.
that kind of movement. You know what I'm saying?
Here's, and we used to do it all the time, but again, I stopped showing a lot of stuff. There's very few people that have learned the full spectrum of what I do because it becomes the same thing. It's like, oh no, well I want to really resist. So I can't. It would be like me teaching what I do to a 7-year-old. It's a matter of time before he hurts somebody at school. There's no way that a kid could show restraint. So the only reason, right, so you grab my wrist, right? If I can do this to you, right, with your wrist, and I go and grab you, couldn't you do the same to me? If you know the angle, which is what? So I'm going to do it to you, right? So here is, you grab me, I grab you, right? If you grab me, I'm going to do this. So now, on the first grab, I don't do that, but I grab you. Now all you got to do is grab me back over the top and then do the same thing to my thumb. Get it into that position to where, get it to the position to where you can break it. There you go. You see what I'm saying? So here.
So let me see.
Okay, boom, right? My position here would be there, right? So then when I grab you, your position there, there you go. Now start turning me this way. Instead of going the other way. Turn my thumb, there you go. There you go. See, once my thumb gets there, It's locked. So hold me there and get the, and then
So
just
start
keep,
over.
boom, right?
Okay.
Then I
Or
grab
just
you.
grab. Let's just start from this grab.
Boom.
Grab, so it'd be like.
There you go. And turn, but you see how you're letting this, lock this in
So
place.
Try not to hurt you. Yeah.
Like, yeah, and then you see how you're turning this way. You want to turn from the tip back. So it doesn't matter how your hand is. It could be any way. What you're trying to do is, remember, get the force to be this way.
Like that.
Watch. If you're grabbing me, get the force to go that way.
Okay.
So you're trying to make my finger, watch. You're trying to get, no, you don't even have to grab. You're trying to make my finger do this. So how do you do that? You can do it that way. You can do it that way. So you got to just keep this still, okay? And then now come towards me. No, with the wrist. There you go. Keep going. Keep going. There you go. So it doesn't matter what part of you put on my thumb. You just got to get here. Since I'm grabbing you, keep this there and just do that. So if you hold my wrist, right, and you just pop your hand out this way without trying to get through the hole. Come against my thumb. There you go. That's it. That's all you got to do. My thumb can only go back to there. Now, if you let my thumb do this, different story. So you get the thumb to the right position. It's just like if I could do this. If I let your hand, slide your hand down this way, well, now we got nothing, right? So it's a matter of I got to get here to do that. Once it gets here, boom. And again, it doesn't matter if it's this way, this way, this way. So it's the same way. Once you grab there, all I got to do is grab you so you can't move and turn, right? And I'll feel it. It's not going anywhere. And now, get your thumb out of there. I'll just go wham! Just like if I grab your neck. If I go like this and I go as hard as I can, your neck breaks. If I do it this way and I go as hard as I can, it breaks. If I hold you here and I just go like this and get you to here as hard as I can, you, right? So it's a matter of, same thing, whether I grab your ear this way and yank on it, I could tear your eardrum. I can grab it this way and yank on it. I could grab it this way and yank on it. I could grab it this way and yank on it. I could grab it this way and yank on it. I can take your eye out this way. I could take your eye out this way. I could take it out this way. I could take it out this way. I could scoop it out this way. I could go this way and then hook into here and rip back the other way. And it's shit. It's sick. But just take it to the point where it's not moving. And then, well, I got it to here. Just go a little bit further. And then if you really want to mess it up, go a lot further.
What do you do?
Yeah. I'm coming over, yeah?
Just hold it in place.
Well, your wrist is bending. I'm coming.
There you go.
Yeah.
You see how difficult that is? So you want to go this way. He's grabbing, right? You want to go so that that's happening, right? So even if his wrist bends, see how the thumb is locked?
Yeah.
Boom. Okay? If he grabs this way, right, and the thumb is locked, it's just a matter of, that's why you got to practice it so gingerly. So if he grabs me, I can do this. But that's why I like this kind of stuff. But I can't do that from here because I'm doing absolutely nothing. I'm just keeping him from going down. Right here, I want him to go down. I don't want him coming towards my face. So he's got to go that way to get out of there. Once this hand removes, because if he's smart, what most people will do is he'll just hold on tighter, right? And try to get my hand off of his. Instead of just let go of that one. Let go. Then I'm screwed because now you got a free hand and we're fighting. But here, right, and I go here and I know what I'm going to do. And he goes to grab my hand to free that hand. But there, he's too smart. He's not going there. He knew where I was going. That's how that hand game goes. So if you grab me, then I know that all I got to do is this to get out, right? Or all I got to do is this, see, to break your finger. So this is what you're trying to do. Go that way. It doesn't matter that his wrist bends. It's still going to break. So this is where the thing is. You're not trying to get out. You're trying to roll this in here. Roll, get over there. There you go, bro. Roll that, and there's that thumb lock. Again, once you can get in here, right? And there you are. And as you're doing this, his mind, because he sees this, he's thinking like, that's going to happen. Then I'm up here, boom, and then that headbutt comes in. So that's why it's good to do things that are very distracting. This, and he feels that pain, and I'm going like this. He's thinking, I'm going to take this thing and bury it to his heel. Then all of a sudden, boom, that happens. And then he doesn't know what to do. And then by that time, this hurts a little bit. Boom, that hurts. And then this shot's going to come in. And it's all over but the singing and dancing at that point. And at that point, which is where things happen, I've never seen two guys sitting on the ground at a bar and then get into a fight. I've never seen two guys sitting on the beach, drinking a beer, and then getting into a fight. Usually the guy that's on the ground, that maybe the guy kicked dirt on him, but there's one guy standing up, one guy, and then the other guy does whatever. But you don't have two people on the ground starting fights. Never. And two people that are standing up and get into a fight, there's where the problem lies. I cannot be standing up with you, back up here for a second, and end up in a fight and not know it was going to happen. Right? Unless you're silly enough to think, fall for that, oh man, everything's cool, and go for the handshake, which you never do. You just had a little bit of a with this guy. You got to have enough distance. And then again, even with this distance, well, yeah, now you just gave the jiu-jitsu because now he's going to shoot for your legs. Yeah, great, he could shoot for my legs. But have I practiced enough in my head? In my head, okay? Think about it. There you go. If you can think it, right? Everything that's ever been invented was at one time a thought. So he shoots and I'm constantly thinking of this, okay? Just that quick, again, distraction. I've shot 11,000 times. I've never had this happen, right? Just like the sharpshooter. I've never had a guy shoot on me and me do this, but I've seen it in my head 100 times. I've sat in traffic visualizing that guy coming for my waist, coming for this leg, coming for a double and pushing, getting all the way around and taking me down, and burying his head here. And I see it every time, boom, and I'm carrying. Just like a football, guys, if I'm running down the sideline and I see a guy coming from here, what should I do with this ball? I'm running down the sideline and the guy's coming this way. What do?
Switch arms.
There you go. And how does that happen? It's going to go here, and I grab that ball, and this happens every time. And where does this leg go? Up in the air. That's how that Heisman Trophy guy looks. Because what is he going to grab? He's grabbing for this, so I'm going like this. I see him going for my legs. I switch, and I go here. Boom. And you'll see it. That the Heisman guy, he's there. He's like this. He's getting away from the guy. There's a hand keeping him from getting to me, and I'm taking the ball away from him. Right? Because he wants to punch it out so that I fumble, or he wants to tackle me so I don't let him. It's no different. It's no different. The second he shoots for my legs, right, I got to put something in between. Boom, there it is. Right? He buries. I mean, where are you going to bury? I don't get where the burying is going to happen. But I'm not just going to smack. I got to start raking and ripping. And if that other hand comes up and I got a free hand, it's the same thing. Can you grab me? Grapple. Listen to it. Grappling. It's about grab. It's about grab, right? Can you grab me while I'm doing this, right? You bring your head down to here. I go like this, right? And then he brings his hand here to rip my hand away, okay? And I just turn. I just take this hand. He wants the hand off of his face, right? So as he's pulling my hand, if I do this, he's going to be more than happy, right? More than happy. Even on my way down, when I go ahead and grab here. In that minute that I just go like this, bang, as hard as I can, I guarantee you he's not going to be able to grab that leg like he wants to. And the second he goes like this, the back of his, so the second I go like this, boom, he grabs my hand, boom, bang, I got to have that worked out in my head. I go for his eyes, he goes for my hand, I twist and I do this, I twist and I do this. And I'm working that in my head daily, bang. And again, that's going to be the same thing, because in the 11,000 times he shot, this never happened. When he does this out of craziness, that's never happened. This is just survival. This sure as hell's never happened, okay? And not while he's thinking about that, just those quick seconds, and this one, bang, which might kill him. And that's why it's illegal. That's why you should never be down there. So what do? If you want to save your neck, you don't want to give me a neck, you got to come in with your face up so that your neck's not there, let's say. So you're going to come in here like that? Not good. Bury somewhere where you think you're safe. While you're driving to the ground, I may be able to get up here and bounce around a little bit, but I can reach. Where are you going to put your face that I can't reach and just, no, man, I'm ripping your face to pieces. And you're going to freak out, and you're going to have to put a hand on there. And all I got to do is twist and go, because it's a ballistic. I'm not forcing, boom, ballistic. I'm going to do a bong sao. So I'm back to the same thing. I'm here, boom, I rake your face, I throw up a bong sao. When you grab me, like we were talking about, right? This is a bong sao, right? This is a bong. I'm going to throw up a bong sao to the outside, bong. And I'm going to go bang, and you're going to kind of go like this. And then while that's happening, boom, I'm back to your face again. Then I'm smacking you behind the head, right? Boom. Elbows behind the head aren't allowed, top of the head aren't allowed. You're not going to do something 0 times in practice and be able to do it well. So if I'm hitting your face and you're going for my hand, and I'm throwing up a bong sound, bang, I'm hitting the back of that hand, and you already know how to do a good bong sound, a Quan sound. Boom, bang, boom, bang, boom, bang. He reaches for your hand, I hit that hand. Now that hand hurts, he pulls that hand away, I go right back to the face. And if possible, rake that ear. You can't drive. If you're trying to drive in and I'm pulling on your ear like grandma, and you're going to keep pulling forward, I doubt it. I doubt it. And then if I can grab your ear, bro, if I can do this, what do you think? Boom, that's what I can do. Slow motion, boom. So I grab that ear, boom, you grab my hand. If I just leave that here, right, leave that here, I can still reach. So I'm going to go here, I let go as he's trying to pull, boom, that quick. You got to pull my arm way over here faster than I can. That's why you want to practice the hell out of that. And do you think that this moves faster or him pulling his arm, my hand? He can do this faster than I can do that? No, that's why a Mack truck with 8,000 horsepower will never beat a Corvette, because the Corvette is 1/100th the weight, and it's tiny. And here's my little Corvette, going vroom, 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 and you're trying to race me with this humongous high power, but it's too big. You're moving too much stuff. I'm moving a thumb right across your face. Bah! Boom, and then your hand comes up. Boom, and then I punch that hand. Because I'm training my mind daily, weekly, monthly, yearly, forever. I see the back of the hand, I'm going to punch the shit out of it. I see the back of the hand, I'm going to punch the shit out of it. If I feel your palm, I know where the back of your hand is, so I'm going to punch the fuck out of it. I don't need to see it anymore, because I know if you grab me, palm is there. That means back of the hand is there, bro. All I got to know is where is that palm. If I can touch palm, if I can feel palm, bang, that's where I'm going. If I'm up here just doing this and I feel palm, I know where the back of that hand is, and I hit it. So if I know where it is, by visualizing it, by feeling, if I can feel your palm, there's nobody on the planet, unless I'm being attacked by aliens. If I know where your palm is and I don't know where the back of your hand is, I haven't been paying attention. Maybe I should be on medication. Maybe I do have 2 missing chromosomes. Maybe my parents had the same last name before they were married. That might be a problem. If your mom and dad share a common last name before they marry, maybe they shouldn't marry. Because that's where kids come out, where they don't know what's on the other side of a palm. Or they don't know what's on the other side of the back of your hand. If I could do this, I know directly on that side, that's where you're going to get your high five. And if I know where your thumb is, I know where your pinky is. And then I know the neighbor's that ring finger. I don't need to see it. So I got to know, feel, oh, I know where I'm going here. There it was. Boom, that's gone. And if I do this and I break your finger, where do you think the next thing's going to be? What do you think is going to be next? Boom, boom, there it is. I already know. I feel your hand. I went like this and broke it through. Boom, I'm going for that. But if you don't know how to run the table because you haven't been paying attention, because you want to play everybody else's game, you didn't get in early enough.
Let me ask you a question.
Watch your back. Thank you.
Somebody was starting to get aggressive.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Could you literally see yourself backing, get out of the situation, or would you wait for exactly? No, this is that's exactly what it's talking about. You have to know what you need to do first time you see it.
Over here, real quick. This is something that anybody can carry on their keychain, right? And you have to kind of be careful because, I mean, the longer we get, I don't know, you could use it for so many things. I mean, there's places where you could put this literally, I mean, for pleasure and for pain. It's just like medicine. It's just like acupressure and acupuncture. Healing points are the same thing as hurting points. Same exact, they're not any different. It's just how much pressure do you put on it? How do you strike it? Or what is it you do to it? When you go to an acupuncturist, acupressurist, or whatever they call those, they put pressure in certain spots. You put too much, it becomes a problem if you press in the wrong ones, right? So if you have this on your keychain, and you know how people, especially people that have a lot of keys, they have that little thing that goes, broop, broop, so they're not digging through keys, so they just go like this, boom, 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 open the door, let the thing go, broop, it snaps back. Mother has one of them with 97 keys, right? That thing comes out like this. The guy takes you to the ground. People don't go around, guy janitor, oh good, and I can do some jiu-jitsu with him. No, they're not checking if you're a janitor. Now you're on the ground, no matter what position he's in, top of you, next to you, over you. If you got that one free hand, and I am telling you, do you think they would allow this in a tournament? No, this would be like WWF when the guy's in the corner like this. Remember the old school WWF? The guy's in the corner and you see him and he takes out the, and he throws it into the crowd. I don't know. What happened to those days, bro? That was the funnest shit. You know, you see the guy and he's holding it here and he goes like this to the ref and the ref is checking him and he's like, and it's like hidden in the turnbuckle, and he goes back to it, pulls it out of the turnbuckle, whacks the idiot again, and you're like, son of a, it's in the turnbuckle, ref.
A pack of ketchup fell in my brother's lap once at the.
Oh yeah. So this thing here, now you have it on that thing I'm talking about, and again, let's just do this real quick. Get right here. Just there you go, right? And this thing pulls out. How do you think that's going to feel? How do you? Boom. Right? And if I can reach, they say, well, you know, from there you could punch me in the face, but I can't reach you. And I go like this. Look how much more extension is here. And I just go, bang. Well, it's not even like getting punched. I can't hurt myself, and I jab this. Or I'm here, right? And since you're way up where you're supposed to be, up here, right? My keys are here. So now I'm behind you even worse. You don't even see me because it extends out to here, and I start going, wham! Right in here, right in the kidneys. Right? Now you got to do what? You got to start reaching back for this. You got to turn, you got to go for something like that. And now all I got to do is be able to do a little bit of a crunch, boom. But I pull this thing out, bang, boom, bang, boom. And you don't even know what's going on. Boom, I start raking it. Boom, I'm going into those spots. Boom, I'm going up there. Okay? That's where the problem is. And then again, the worse you are on the ground, the more things you should carry on you. You don't want to cut the guy to ribbons. You can go to jail. But this, so you break a couple of ribs. Guy gets off you because he's like, broken ribs are no joke. I had a couple of them. You can't breathe really good. And that initial shock, right? And then you just grab yourself a good, boom, he goes back like this, and you grab yourself every last bit of that grapefruit and just squeeze like you want some juice. And those hands come down. What do you think he's going to do? You think anybody's going to let you do that? Both your hands are going to come down and went, bang! There goes the hand, right? We already went through this. There's not rocket science. You don't change mentality. You don't change focus. You don't change concepts. I hit you with this, you grab my hand, boom, I break that hand. You're on me, boom, I'm going to the back. I'm going to the kidney, I'm going to the liver. I think I'm the opposite of the spleen. So you got liver this side, spleen this side. There's places you're hitting here, knocking the wind out, boom. Now you come forward, boom, now I'm poking your eyes. Now your hands are going up, boom, now I'm hitting the back of the hands. Same thing if this thing's still in my hand. Back of the hand, boom, 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 take out the thumb. We getting this? Practice. Get yourself some of these toys, man. They're on Amazon, like $3, $4, $5. Put it on your keychain, and you just start playing scenarios in your head, and you pull. Yeah, and then you'll see. Monday is Memorial Day. We will not be here. We'll just do Thursday, man. Everybody enjoy their weekend. Forget about trying to get together and put Tuesday and we'll reconvene next Thursday. Boom, boom. So if you can get in touch with anybody, they haven't called, I'll let them know. If you talk to,
I'll let her know.
and then Ross.
You got Ross's number?
No, man, no.
Yeah,
Yeah.